Hi guys, Harrison, I'm back at it once again for a brand new video for you, and it's time for another Forza Motorsport 4 car review. And on this episode, we are looking at what many consider to be the Concorde of automotive engineering and the top gear car of the decade, the 2008 Bugatti Veyron 16.4. I really quite like the Bugatti Veyron's looks. They're more modest and calm. I know how when you have a supercar or a hypercar, generally you have permission to go wild or go crazy with the styles and designs. I mean, look at what Lamborghini have done with their cars in the past, and look at the Gunpowder Apollo when it comes to crazy, outlandish car design. But I actually do really like the Veyron's more modest, well-curved and rounded nature. It even looks good with the spoiler up. Just not when it's braking. Then it's a bit like a boat. But then again, that's made for aesthetics, not really, for car design and looks. So overall, I really like the Veyron's visual style. I don't think the Bugatti Veyron needs any introduction when it comes to its monumental and groundbreaking performance. 986 brake horsepower. Well, many called it 1,000, but that's the European term. But it still is incredibly powerful. 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, as fast as a Formula 1 car or a MotoGP bike to 60 miles an hour. 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. And if you can find a straight long enough, about 6 miles if you're on top gear and James May's at the wheel, it's electronically limited to 253 miles an hour. And hell, in just 2 miles, just 1 mile of runway, it topped out at 211. Truly a monumental and incredibly powerful car. One of the most powerful in the entire game. The Bugatti Veyron is how a 1,000 horsepower car should be like. This car has very little wheel spin in anything other than first and maybe second gear thanks to its all-wheel drive system. Although this car actually has very powerful brakes, plus an air brake which by itself has 0.6 G's of stopping power, I found myself having to brake much earlier than a lot of other cars. This is most likely due to having so much speed coming off the straightaway thanks to that 1,000 horsepower. One of my very few complaints about this car is how much it weighs. It weighs far too much. With about 500 pounds less weight, this car will not just handle better, but it would also stop and accelerate better. Also, it wouldn't hurt to have the brakes on as there are. Overall, the Veyron is technologically an amazing car that will continue to be a force to be reckoned with as long as Bugatti keep, and after they stop making it. That's what Kenjin thought of the car, and despite his minor criticisms, it hammered the all-time lap record for the Top Gear test track, completing the lap in an unbelievable 1 minute 11.51. The Bugatti Veyron isn't the best car when it comes to forzability and how usable it is in the world of Forza. First of all, it's expensive. 1.4 million credits. The upside to this is that it's also a reward car. You can win it at level 39 in the game, and it's also the most valuable of that tier when it comes to level 39 in the World Record Contender class, alongside the Koenigsegg CCX, the SSC Ultimate Aero and the Saleen S7. But also because its performance index is around 750, you're not leaving it very much room for potential upgrades, and don't try and put it into R2. It's going to get crushed by the touring cars and Le Mans cars in that category, who will whip it around the corners without any problems. So overall, the Bugatti Veyron, not the best car in terms of Forza. While the Bugatti Veyron isn't a usable car in the world of Forza in many aspects, if you've got this car, you're using it for one thing and one thing only, and that's fun. And isn't that what this game is all about to a degree? Yes, it's not as powerful it's not as powerful around the corners, and it's not as good around the track as other cars in the game. But who cares? You've got a Bugatti Veyron, a special piece of engineering, and something that should be in every racing fan's hearts. I've been Harrison101. Thank you very much for watching, and sayonara.